what is your sales revenue 2018?
That is public. That was in the press release. That was a little over 26 million Canadian.
26 mil.
I'm Alex Cervinka. I'm the founder and CEO of Newtrax. We believe that the industry is, in the early adopter phase when it comes to digitalization, automation, robotics. When I was a younger boy, I was a lifeguard, and one of my nightmares was to have a kid drown on my watch. Okay, because I know people, actually I know one person that someone drowned on their watch, and it just ruins your life, right? I mean, you personally feel, you never forgive yourself for that kind of stuff. And as the Newtrax has grown quickly, and also, by the way, something of interest, Sandvik, is that we are global, so we're doing projects all over the place, a good fit for them. Right. But it's my number one responsibility is to take care of our employees and make sure that we have the world-class standards in terms of safety and security when they go to sites. Prior to that, there was a few failed business plans and companies. So I guess it's certainly not been an easy journey for me since graduated in 2001 from McGill University in electrical engineering. It sounded like a bad move, but we persisted. I personally visited over the years ultimately hundreds of mines, making sure we better understood the market. Bottom line, what did people want? What were the constraints? It's a cemetery of failed technology projects, right? Underground hard rock mines. And when I was at university, my first business plan was in 1999. Basically, it was a tracking system for children, so to enable parents to keep an eye on their kids when they leave home. So that's a great idea, but it's not a technical challenge. It's really a marketing challenge.
Right.
And you guys are a bunch of engineers. At some point, obviously, whoever had injected money got fed up, pulled the plug. Multiple failures, and that's it. Never ever give up. Whatever idea you have, raising funding is an option, but the best source of funding is sales. As a small company, you have limited amount of resources, and your best bet is to focus all those resources on one point to break in. If you go to Silicon Valley and any environment in which there's a entrepreneurial culture, failure is not necessarily frowned upon. As president of the company, it's a pretty traditional role for a president to take the reins and make sure the business, number one, survives and then thrives. I think that, most engineers it's not always their comfort zone to sell. I'm talking about mentors and all that. I mean, these are people that certainly helped us a lot to grow and sharpen our skills in terms of sales. If you can't sell, don't even try to start a business. The truth is that there was a lot of stumbling along. You needed to identify and recruit a strong leader that could lead sales and lead the building of a regional team.
Right.
And finding and enlisting those people was the most difficult team building challenge. There's a lot of cold calling, quite frankly. It's very easy. You just need to get used to being rejected. Can't take the heat, get off the seat. Tipping point, if you want, I really feel was when again, this private equity investor came in 2014 that, we kind of switched gears. I don't know about investors in general, but again, in my personal case, and I'm sure if you were to ask, Jollymont and this as well, they ultimately invest in people. When you have, professional investors that come in, they also expect you to achieve high growth rates. We surprised ourselves in many cases, and although the targets may seem ambitious, multiple times I actually achieve those. People give you a little bit of money, and they see how well you manage, and if they like the way you manage, they'll give you more money. And then, you're good, well, I give you even more money. It's all about building a track record. I've always had a lot of, advisors or mentors from the early days. In the past, our focus was on, the mine management is blind. We enable them to see what's happening in the present. And now with everything we're doing in AI, so machine learning, operational research, our goal is to enable the managers to see the future. Right now, that was the right business move to ensure we remain number one in that space. And for me, what's the most important is to remain number one. It's too painful to be number two or number three. Keep going, and good things in life don't come easy. There'll be all sorts of problems.